Angie Dickinson was a Hollywood legend, but behind her smile was a heartbreaking secret. A secret that tore apart her marriage and followed her for the rest of her life. And it all began the day her daughter was born. Angie Dickinson was on top of the world in the late 1960s. She was famous, loved by audiences, and married to music icon Burt Bacharach. On the outside, it looked like a perfect life. But inside their home, something was going terribly wrong. And no one knew how dark things would become. In 1966, Angie gave birth to their daughter, Nikki, but the baby arrived 3 months early, tiny, fragile, and barely 2 pounds. Doctors weren't sure she would survive. Angie refused to leave the hospital, watching every ounce of weight her daughter gained. Little victories gave them hope. But what happened next surprised everyone. As Nikki grew, it became clear something was wrong. She struggled to speak, had trouble connecting with others, and developed emotional outbursts that Angie didn't understand. One day she'd be playing piano like a young prodigy, and the next she'd be tearing pages from books in frustration. Bert and Angie searched for answers, but doctors couldn't explain what was happening. And the pressure didn't just affect Nikki. It started breaking Angie and Bert apart. Their home became filled with stress, confusion, and blame. The once loving couple drifted into separate lives, even while living under the same roof. They tried to stay together for their daughter, but the emotional storm kept growing. By Nikki's teenage years, her struggles became overwhelming. With no proper diagnosis and no support system that understood her, she was eventually placed in a mental institution. She stayed there for 10 long years. Angie visited constantly, hoping for progress, but every visit ended the same way, with fear, sadness, and questions that nobody could answer. Then, in 2000, Angie discovered an article about Asperger's syndrome. Every symptom matched Nikki. For the first time, she felt she finally understood her daughter. Angie took Nikki home, promising to give her the life she never had. But the years of pain had cut deep, and the ending would be tragic. In 2007, at age 40, Nikki's life came to a heartbreaking end. Angie never recovered. She still says the weight of her daughter's suffering and the marriage it destroyed follows her to this day.